Hi friends, I hope you're having an inspiring day. So today we are talking about my Everlane shoe collection, and a couple of you guys have mentioned that you really like Everlane shoes as well. I personally discovered Everlane shoes, I think it was about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, but I have quickly fallen in love so much with their shoes that honestly, I gravitate towards these shoes the most, and I think I could probably get rid of every single shoe in my collection besides these shoes and still pretty much have a pair that matches every single outfit. So there's a couple things with Everlane shoes that I really like. One is how they're made. So I really like the fact that if not all, I believe all of their shoes are made in Italy. The quality of their leather is super high. I find that these shoes are super comfortable, which I think is the number one about Everlane shoes. I typically gravitate towards shoes that are really comfortable. If I'm not going to like a special event or need to put together like a wow extravagant outfit, on a day-to-day basis, I'm pretty much wearing whatever is the most comfortable to me and kind of matches as many outfits as I possibly can. And for me, that answer is Everlane shoes. I will say that a lot of their pairs are a little bit more of an investment. They are a little bit on the pricier end of shoes, but they are all leather, and I have found that they've lasted and held up really, really well despite lots of wear. So I figured that I would go through every single pair that I personally own. There is a good range, and share with you guys my thoughts on them, my regrets, my favorite things, and all that jazz. I will also leave in the description box all the links to their shoes. That's another really great thing about Everlane. A lot of their styles don't actually ever go out of style or out of season, and so they typically carry their core shoe line indefinitely from what I've seen so far, which is really great and a testament to how timeless the look of the shoe is. I will also leave in the description box a sort of navigation for you guys, a directory of different types of shoes so you guys can navigate between whatever shoe you're trying to look for a review on, or if you just want to see a particular category of shoes. Since we are in the summer season, let us start with flats and sandals. I love my Everlane sandals. I think it's one of the first shoes that I picked up from them and kind of how I fell in love with their leather quality. All right, the first one here are the crossover day sandals. So it's kind of got two leather crisscross straps on them, all leather, no seams, so nothing that kind of cuts into you. These are probably one of my most worn sandals ever. I know that the brightness is kind of misleading, but it is so dirty and definitely they need a clean. Somehow, despite being a white leather, they've actually held up really well, which I'm really impressed with. The day crossover sandals are $137. The only thing that I would say that I kind of wish Everlane did with their sandals was add a little bit more cushioning on the bottom part of the sole. Similar to designer shoes, I find that they're really, really flat. So if you have flat feet like me, you can't wear them, I would say, like for extended durations of time, although I definitely have and have felt okay in them. But a little bit of cushioning, a little bit more cushioning would have been nice. But regardless, I still wear these on heavy repeat. They are so comfortable. The leather also molds to your feet, so that's really good to know. They come pretty soft already, but with extra wear, they kind of mold to your feet from the heat from your feet. And the other thing to note is like nothing underneath here on the sole cuts into your foot, which I think is really important and a really big distinction for sandals like this. I found in the past that some of them have cut into my foot and these ones don't do that. I actually also have a pair of orange ones that I don't really wear as often. I wish I got them in a little bit more of a neutral color, but a really great sandal. Next are the day slide sandals, which you see here. I have them in only a black color, although I wish I had them in other colors. So this one comes in, I believe, 3 different colors right now. I think they used to have a more expansive color range, but they are also $137, and these are the most comfortable slide on and go slides. So a couple things that I really like about this particular sandal. One, it's got a wider foot covering, I guess you could say. And because of that, I feel like my foot is a lot more structured. I feel like it's more supported. The other thing is, again, this leather really has no seams to it. So nothing that's gonna cut into your foot, nothing that's gonna irritate it. I find that this top part here is also really, really soft. And that's another thing that I find that with other sandals I sometimes have issues with, just because the front of it as I'm walking will then cut into my foot, and this one doesn't do it because I think the leather is just so soft and so well made and kind of molds to the shape of your foot. Again, I kind of wish that they had a little bit more cushioning on the sole of the shoe. There is a bit of a cushioning there, but not a whole ton. I wish it was a little bit more. Either way, this is a pair that I definitely wear super often. If you guys have seen any of my outfit compilation videos, you will definitely know that. And I think I have my eye on the little blush ones that they have on their site right now, but love these sandals as well. So great to pair up with just about anything. All right, that is it for my sandal flats. Moving along to sandal heels. These are the double strap block heels. So they actually come in a multitude of different neutral colors, which I really like. But a couple things with this heel that I really love is that it is a really classic silhouette. It's got that really nice straight block heel that's a little bit more like angular here. It's just a little touch, but I find that it makes a really big difference. The other thing is that the sole on these are so cushiony, so comfortable. These are a sort of great heel when you don't know what heel to pair your outfit with. You can wear it with like jeans, super casual, or you can also dress it up with like a summer dress and it still looks great. The other thing is this little buckle and hole area gives a lot of variety depending on what shape and how large your ankles are, and I found that that was really helpful for me, just because I find a lot of sandals, because I'm a size 10 foot, tend to be oversized on my ankles and don't typically fit, but this one actually does. And it also has like a little elastic up as a part of this strap here, which allows it to give you a little bit more movement as you walk and not dig into your heel, which I really love. The only little thing that I think I would note on this heel is I kind of wish that I had gone with something that wasn't this sort of croc material. I think the croc leather that they make is a little bit harder and a little bit stiffer, so I found it a little bit harder to break this shoe in. I think that the other softer leathers that I could have chosen instead of this one might have been a better choice, but regardless, still a very comfortable heel, doesn't cut into my foot, doesn't dig or anything. I just wish that it was that like supple, soft leather that I'm used to with most of my Everlane shoes. It's also about a 2-inch heel, I think, so it's super easy to walk in. And these are actually on sale right now, I think for $162, maybe even less. I think it's a part of their Pay What You Want program, so very good time to pick up a pair of these. All right, if you saw my most recent Everlane haul, you would have seen these and seen me basically cry at how amazing these heels are. This is the Glove Mule, which is a typical classic style from Everlane, but in their reknit fabric, which is very important to note. I don't actually have it in their leather, but this reknit fabric, as you will see later on, is one of my favorite things that Everlane makes. They are so comfortable. It's pretty much like living in socks, but with shoes on. I don't know if that makes sense, but these are the most comfortable mules you will ever slide onto your feet. Makes your feet feel so great. There's actually no hemming on this, so it really is like you're wearing a really thick sock that kind of hugs your feet, and nothing feels better. The other thing to note is that it has a great squishy sole that's really comfortable. It is actually all leather all the way around, even the back of the heel, which I think is really nice and really luxurious. And little things like this little square toe front here is super trendy, really a classic little touch that makes it a little bit more elevated, a little bit more on trend. I believe it comes in a bunch of different colors, but these ones here are $155, which I think is a great deal. I need to get it in a couple of different colors now, just because they are the most comfortable heels ever. I'm gonna be honest, they may actually be more comfortable than flats. Let's take a little break from heels and move on to flats and loafers. So I actually don't have a full loafer from Everlane, although I've been meaning to try a pair of them, but I do have this pair of slip-on loafers. So these are actually called the Day Loafer Mules, and if you guys haven't seen any of my outfit compilation videos, you might not know this, but if you have, you will know these get worn on heavy, heavy repeat. And I don't know if it's just because you can just slide them on and go, but I think that honestly, the visual of it does not tell you guys how soft and comfortable these shoes are. And they are, when I say this, the best and most comfortable slip-on loafers I have ever worn. They really are. And I have a pair of the Gucci ones that everybody like loves, and I bought into that a couple years ago, and honestly these are so much better and obviously a fraction of that designer price. A couple things to know of why this is so comfortable. One, there's no seams here, so it's just the leather that kind of holds your foot together. And the other thing is that it's a really flattering silhouette because it's got that longer toe there. Other than that, it's a really simple loafer, nothing too exciting, which is very common for Everlane shoes. They're meant to be really classic, really basic. The leather, I think, is probably the most notable on all the shoes, but especially this one. It's just super soft, super supple, kind of molds to your foot as you wear it. And again, just the most comfortable shoe ever. It's got a pretty hefty sole at the bottom here, and honestly, you will not go wrong with these ones. I'm looking into picking it up in a black and also in a tan. They are a little bit pricier. These guys are $234, but honestly, the quality of the leather is so great. You can actually see that I've got that little bend there just from walking. But again, these are things that are going to wear your shoes in and make them the most comfortable ones in your closet. All right, next are the flats that I feel like Everlane is really well known for. They're the ones that I first saw when I was looking into their shoes. One of the first pairs I think I ended up picking up, and it is the day gloves. They've actually renamed a ton of different shoes after and modeled after these iconic flats that they have, and they are iconic for a reason. I actually just picked up these two pairs in my recent haul. You would have seen them if you saw that, but they're loved across the board for so many different reasons, and rightfully so. So they carry a ton of different colors. You could probably collect 15 pairs, 10 to 15 pairs just of these alone in their colors. It's one of their styles that never goes away, and it is honestly the best flat, ballerina style flat that you will ever find. There are a couple of reasons for that. One, obviously, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but they're leather. As you can see here, there's nothing that's cutting into you, super soft, really moldable to your foot, really flexible as well. The leather on it is very soft. It's kind of exposed leather on the inside here, so it's not lined, but because of that, it will mold to your foot a lot quicker. The other thing to note, the sole, super cushiony, super thick. They've got these little air holes on the side of the shoe too, so it's got some breathability, but I actually don't find that my feet sweat or anything in these. I don't feel like they overheat at all, despite just being a leather encasing. The only thing I will note for me personally is I did have to break in this back portion a little bit just by wearing it around, and honestly, I didn't like cut my foot or anything doing that. It was just more comfortable after wearing it a bunch of times than it was when I first put it on. But again, that is kind of the nature of leather. It will mold to your foot, get more comfortable over time as you wear it, as I continue to break it in my hands. And I actually have this pair in yellow that I got last year. Recently picked it up in these two neutral colors just because I feel like I end up wearing my neutral colored shoes the most. But these are the best and most comfortable flats you guys will own. And again, a little bit more of an investment, but super worth it. These are $184. All right, moving along to all season heels. I have two pairs that are two of my favorites. The first one here are these mules. This is actually called the Day Heel Mule. And again, super comfortable. I feel like a broken record when I'm talking about these shoes because pretty much the biggest thing that I love across the board on Everlane shoes is their leather and how comfortable it is, but it goes for these guys as well. The leather on this, so supple. There's no additional casing on the inside of the leather, which sometimes you'll find with other shoes is that they've actually got a casing underneath that ends up being hard because it's supposed to structure the shoe. But this one doesn't have that, and so all you've got is this leather sort of cushioned heaven that you put your foot into, and it's just the most comfortable shoe ever. I guess I have many most comfortable shoes ever, as I state most comfortable shoe ever many times over in this video. I am calling myself out. I just don't know how to explain it other than the fact that they are so comfortable. They are also a really beautiful silhouette. I don't know if you guys see that little angular detail there, but what that allows this shoe to do is, despite being really simple, it gives you that elevated look, a little bit more chic, a little bit more edgy, a little bit more interesting than just like a really basic silhouette, that angle is really important for that. The other thing is that their heels, for the most part, including this one, is typically very wearable, not uncomfortable. These are ones that you could kind of wear to work, wear after work. Because they're these 2-inch block heels, they are super comfy to walk around in. The other thing to note is that it's actually got a little bit of a casing at the back of the mule here, which I think is a really great touch, because what that allows this shoe to do is kind of hold your foot with the shoe when you're walking. I don't know about you, but I have a ton of mules that kind of flip-flop as I walk, and I end up really hurting the top part of my foot because this part keeps clunking back. And this little ledge here at the back kind of holds your foot to the shoe so that you don't have that flip-flopping action. And again, a bit more of an investment, but I've had these shoes since the winter time, have worn them a ton, and these are $243. Next up are the day heels. I got this pair here, I think last summer, and they are a beautiful shoe. I feel like this, a good way to describe it is kind of like the day glove flat, but with a little bit of a block heel on it. The only thing with this particular one, I would say it's very similar to the day glove. Everything is super comfortable, super wearable. Block heel makes it really comfortable. Again, very wearable height, beautiful angular silhouette here. The only gripe I have with this particular shoe is that for some reason they made this like elasticy enclosure at the back here, which honestly is a nice touch because it holds the shoe to my foot really well. But I will say that I had to break this one in at the back here a lot more than my other Everlane shoes. So if you're planning on this shoe, it is honestly a perfect heel. I don't think you get more classic than this, but I will say that you might have to spend a little bit of time breaking the back of the heel in to kind of fit your foot properly. The other thing is that I would probably size up half a size, at least for me personally, because it'll kind of give you a little bit more flexibility at the back here without pulling so much and without you having to stretch it all that much. But otherwise, very, very comfortable shoe, kind of like a Mary Jane, is that what they call it? I don't know. I don't know what the name of this silhouette is, but just a very classic shoe. I love the way that it makes your legs look longer with this sort of open foothold. We're using all the technical terms here, guys. And these one here come in a multitude of different colors, and they are $226. I'm also quoting these in Canadian dollars, but for my American friends, they're going to be a lot less than what I am quoting here because obviously Canadian dollar ain't as strong. But Canada pride, it's almost Canada Day. All right, little shout out there for my Canadian friends. I will also say that these prices and the prices that you see online, if you are shopping from abroad and not from the United States, is that their prices actually already include duties. They actually say that on their website, which I think is really great. My Canadian and foreign friends, non-American friends, we appreciate the call out on the duties because ain't nobody want to answer the door, get your package, be all excited, and be like, now I gotta pay duties? It's just not a good look. All right, let's close it off with my boot collection. I love Everlane boots. In Canada, and for those of you who live in, I guess, northern United States, we get winters and we get cold for pretty much a lot of the year, minus 2 months. And even in these 2 months in the summertime, I somehow end up wearing boots with like my shorts and stuff. I don't know why, but because of that, I do collect quite a few boots, and I've loved the ones that I've picked up from Everlane in the past. By far, I think my most favorite boot that I've picked up from Everlane are the Western booties here. If you guys have seen any of, again, my outfit compilations, you will have already seen these boots on heavy repeat. And the thing is that Western booties are definitely a trend. They have been a trend. I feel like they still kind of are, but these boots kind of are the perfect hybrid between trendy and classic. And I say that because it is a Western style. You see like a little bit of that Western influence in the way that this stretchy materials here, the way that the length of the boot is and the shape of the boot is. But other than that, it is a really classic boot. Nothing crazy on it, no prints. It's kind of got a little bit of extra stitching around the side here, which again, give you that Western look without being overly like trendy. One of the biggest things I love about this boot is this shape. I don't know if you guys see that angular shape, and it's classic in Western boots, but I love the way that looks on. It makes this boot look so interesting, so cool. The other thing is that this stretchy part at the back here holds your ankle so well. A lot of Western boots are kind of just like loose leather, and that's kind of the look, but this one here holds the shape of your leg. It gives you that really long tailored look on your leg despite being cut off obviously by wearing a bootie. And for those of you who have big feet as well, you will really appreciate the fact that you've got that elastic opportunity there. And when I say that, it's because a lot of the times I'll buy booties, and I actually have a really tough time buying booties because often the ankle area will be matched to the size of the foot, and so for a size 10 they think that the ankle area needs to be really wide, and so this shoe ends up flip-flopping on me, and this one doesn't. It actually holds to my ankles, which I find really great and highly appreciated. I am actually really sad that I didn't pick up this boot in other colors, but they have a whitish color, off-white color, as well as a brown camel color. And these boots are definitely a splurge. They are $384, but I pretty much wore this throughout the entire season. I wore this in the snow, I wore this in the salt. Somehow it doesn't have salt stains, I'm not really sure how. Super worth it, and if you're looking for that perfect bootie, this is it. Well, hello, sir. Did you want to come say hi? Hi. Hello. You're interrupting the filmings. Yes, did you want to say hi to everybody? Hello. Right, Sims, I gotta move on to the next booty. I gotta move on, okay? I gotta move on. You can lay here though. All right, so next up is the Chelsea boot, and I picked this up last winter as well. These boots, honestly, I have mixed feelings about, but mostly because of my own doing. I didn't end up wearing them as much as I thought I was going to, and the reason for it is the color. I thought that this maroon color would be a really great change from all the black boots and all the neutral colors that I have in my shoe closet, but what I've actually learned is that neutral is the way to go with shoes because you just end up wearing them more. And if this was an all black boot, I would have worn it so much more than I did. So tip for you guys, don't try to be adventurous. Well, be adventurous. Be adventurous. I don't know. I'm just having, I guess, a neutral moment. I haven't really been wearing my colorful shoes, and although this is pretty much a neutral color just because it's kind of like that maroonish brown, I just didn't end up wearing it as much as my Western boots. So when given the chance, I ended up going with this black boot instead of this maroon colored Chelsea boot. That said, I do want to note a few things about this boot that I actually really love, and again, just wish it was black. One of the things is, again, this stretchy material that they've added here that really form fits to your ankle. The other thing is that it's got this beautiful square toe here, which really gives you that added chic, cool look. Other than that, it's super seamless at the front here, making it really easy to pair with things. A really nice small heel, classic Chelsea boot style. The leather is really, really soft on this one. Again, like I said, just wish that it was black. It would have probably been my go-to shoe if it were all black. And these boots here are a little bit more of an investment like many of their boots. They're $384 Canadian, but definitely a beautiful boot, and I may hork up the money and eventually get myself one in black, or maybe try to sell these ones and then use that money to buy the black pair. But great Chelsea boot, one of the best I've seen in the market, and again, just really sad that I don't have it in black. And last but not least, one of my go-to favorite boots in my Everlane and just shoe closet in general are the reknit glove boot. So these boots, honestly, when I got them last fall, I was like, I don't know if it's gonna fit me properly. Sock booties are sometimes a little too wide on my ankles. I don't know. And then I fell in love. And honestly, I've been wanting to pick up a few other colors in this, particularly in a black color. I feel like that will kind of round out this collection. But when I like something, I really like them. And this particular boot has so many amazing features to it. I think the most important and the thing that I love the most is obviously this reknit fabric. You saw my love for it in my recent sandal mule things here. This fabric just molds to your foot and hugs your foot like a sock. You feel like you're not wearing shoes at all, which I think is so great. This one here is a sock pretty much all the way up to your ankles. It does have a little bit of structure at the back here, which kind of holds it up so that you're not always pulling up your sock boot, which is another thing that I really like, a really nice touch. This heel here is a beautiful sort of contrast to these particular colors. And I will say that this one here has this sort of inner, I guess, structure. So it almost like has a piece of leather inside. So kind of like any of their other shoes, like this additional piece of leather, they have that on the inner side of the boot here. So what that does is actually holds your toe in and the front of your foot in, or else what would happen is your foot, because it's a heel, would slide forward and kind of stretch out the front part of your boot a little too much. Because of that, it does take a little bit more wearing in, but honestly, even the first time I wore it, I felt super comfortable in it. You can even see from the silhouette here how it ends up shaping to your foot. This little bump here is from the bump of my foot. This is just the most comfortable sock boot I have ever worn. Again, probably because it's got a lower heel. My other sock boots are a little bit of a higher heel, but these boots kind of throw on and go so well in the fall, spring, even the summer. I guess you could probably wear them. I will also say, for my fellow Canadians and fellow cold climate peeps, it is also very warm somehow. Don't know how, but it is warm. And I actually wear quite a thick sock in these. These are a size 10, which is my size, and they are true to size, but somehow I wear like a thicker sock in it and it's totally fine. I think it's because of this stretchy fabric allows me that flexibility without making the shoe smaller for me, if that makes sense. They have this boot in 5 different colors, all super neutral, very wearable. These are the 2 I have. Like I said, I think I want to pick up a black pair, and these ones here are $246. And that is it for my Everlane shoe collection. There are a few other pairs I see on their website that I have my eyes on, or kind of on my wish list. I have never tried their sneakers. I want to try a full loafer. Maybe I'll add in the description box below my wish list of things that I don't have yet but want to collect. Like I said, these shoes could literally take me all through the year without wearing any other shoes, and I could probably wear these for every single occasion that I can think of, from being super dressed up to being super dressed down. And I think that's what I love the most about my Everlane shoe collection, is just that they are so wearable. Anyhow, I hope you guys like this video. I love sharing collections with you guys, so I'm trying to think of other collections that I have that I could share with you. I think maybe a blazer collection? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you guys like Everlane shoes as well, if you guys have any, if there's any other collections you'd like to see, and obviously if you have a favorite shoe that I showed you guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a big inspired thumbs up. If you are new to the Inspired family, thank you so much for giving this video a watch. We hope you'll join our little Inspired fam for a bit longer and subscribe. But with that, I hope you guys have an inspiring rest of your day. Undoubtedly, the past couple weeks have been very different, and I think 2020 is shaping up to be a year of change, and for me, I'm trying to look at it as a year of hope and a year of light. So I hope you guys are feeling that too, and if you're not, my heart is with you. I haven't really spoken about like how I feel about the whole situation, but let me know if you guys want me to do like a sit down heart to heart, and I'd be happy to do that. But with that, I hope you guys have, with that very long ramble, I hope you guys have an inspiring rest of your day. Remember, kindness doesn't cost a thing, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!